You're floating in the vacuum of space. No air, no pressure, cosmic radiation tearing through your body. Or maybe you're plunged into boiling water at 300 degrees. Perhaps you're crushed under pressure, 6,000 times stronger than the deepest ocean trench. Any of these would kill you instantly. They'd kill every animal you can think of. But there's one creature that would just shrug it off. Meet the tardigrade. This microscopic animal doesn't just survive the impossible. It thrives in conditions that would obliterate everything else on Earth. We're talking about a creature so tough that scientists have thrown every deadly scenario at it, and it keeps coming back for more. What if I told you there's an animal that literally cannot be killed, that's challenged everything we thought we knew about the limits of life itself? Today, we're diving into the world of the most indestructible creature on our planet. If you love discovering nature's most incredible secrets, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Now, before you start looking around for some massive, armored beast, let me stop you right there. Tardigrades are smaller than the period at the end of this sentence. We're talking about animals so tiny you need a microscope just to see them, but don't let their size fool you. These microscopic creatures are everywhere. Mountain peaks, ocean depths, your backyard, even the moss growing on your roof. They've colonized every environment on Earth. And that's just the beginning. Here's what blows my mind. Tardigrades have survived all 5 mass extinction events that wiped out the dinosaurs and countless other species, while entire ecosystems collapsed around them. These little guys just kept on living. Scientists call them water bears because under a microscope, they look like tiny, chubby bears with 8 legs. But a more accurate nickname would be the ultimate survivors. They've earned the title of toughest animals on Earth. And once you hear what they can do, you'll understand why. Let's talk about what makes these creatures so impossibly tough. First up, temperature. Most animals die when it gets too hot or too cold. Tardigrades, they laugh at temperature extremes. They can survive at minus 458 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just a few degrees above absolute zero, where atoms barely move. On the flip side, they can handle temperatures up to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. That's hot enough to boil water and cook most living things instantly. But temperature is just the beginning. Remember that crushing pressure I mentioned? Tardigrades can withstand pressure 6,000 times stronger than what you'd find at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. That kind of pressure would turn you into paste. But tardigrades just carry on like nothing happened. Then there's radiation. The amount of radiation that would kill a human in minutes? Tardigrades can handle doses 1,000 times stronger and still be perfectly fine. They're like tiny living radiation shields. But here's where it gets truly incredible. When conditions get really bad, tardigrades have a trick called cryptobiosis. They literally shut down their entire metabolism and become a dried out husk. We're talking about reducing their water content to just 3% of normal levels. In this state, they're not technically alive, but they're not dead either. They're in suspended animation, waiting, and they can stay like this for decades. Scientists have revived tardigrades that were dried out for over 30 years. They just add water, and boom, the tardigrade wakes up and goes about its business like nothing happened. Think about that for a second. This animal can essentially pause its own life, wait out any disaster, and then restart when conditions improve. It's like having a biological reset button. The process is so complete that they can survive being completely dehydrated, frozen solid, and bombarded with radiation all at the same time. Most animals would be destroyed by any one of these conditions. Tardigrades treat it like a minor inconvenience. What's fascinating is how they protect their most vital components during this process. Their DNA gets special proteins that act like molecular armor, preventing damage even under the most extreme conditions. When they rehydrate, repair mechanisms kick in to fix any damage that did occur. This isn't just surviving. This is biological engineering at its finest. Nature spent millions of years perfecting this system, creating an animal that can literally cheat death whenever it needs to. Now here's where tardigrades go from impressive to absolutely mind-blowing. They're the only animal that's been proven to survive in the vacuum of space itself. NASA didn't just theorize about this. They actually did the experiment. They took tardigrades up to the International Space Station and exposed them to the full horror of open space. No atmosphere, no protection from cosmic radiation, temperatures swinging from scorching hot to freezing cold every 90 minutes. Most life forms would be dead within seconds. The vacuum would cause their cells to explode. The radiation would shred their DNA. The temperature swings would destroy any biological processes. But the tardigrades, they just went into their cryptobiosis state and waited it out. What's even more incredible is how they protect themselves during this process. When cosmic radiation hits their DNA, it should cause irreparable damage. But tardigrades have developed something scientists are calling the ultimate repair mechanism. Their cells can actually detect when DNA strands have been broken by radiation and rebuild them piece by piece. It's like having a molecular construction crew that works around the clock to fix whatever gets damaged. This repair system is so efficient that tardigrades can survive radiation doses that would turn other organisms into genetic soup. But perhaps the most amazing part is their ability to hibernate for decades and wake up perfectly fine. Scientists have found tardigrade eggs that were frozen in Antarctic ice for over 30 years. When they thawed them out and provided the right conditions, the tardigrades hatched and behaved exactly like freshly laid eggs. Think about what this means. While you and I age and change over 30 years, these creatures can literally pause time for themselves. They can skip entire decades and emerge unchanged, ready to continue their lives as if nothing happened. The space experiments revealed something else fascinating. Not only can tardigrades survive in space, but they can actually reproduce there. Female tardigrades exposed to the vacuum of space later laid viable eggs. This means they're not just surviving these extreme conditions, they're thriving in them. This discovery has huge implications for how we think about life in the universe. If tardigrades can survive and reproduce in space, they could potentially travel between planets on asteroids or comets. Some scientists think this might be how life spreads throughout the galaxy. Let's imagine the worst-case scenario for life on Earth. What if our planet faced every possible disaster at the same time? Nuclear war, massive asteroid impact, supervolcanic eruptions, and nearby supernova explosions, all happening together. This kind of apocalyptic event would wipe out every large animal, destroy most plant life, and turn the surface of Earth into a radioactive wasteland. But tardigrades, they'd probably just take a little nap and wait for things to calm down. Their secret weapon is that ton state we talked about earlier. When tardigrades curl up into this dried-out ball, they become virtually indestructible. No metabolism means no biological processes that can be disrupted. No water content means nothing to freeze or boil. It's like they transform into tiny biological rocks that just happen to be alive. Here's what blows my mind. Tardigrades have already survived every major extinction event in Earth's history. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs, tardigrades were there. The massive volcanic eruptions that wiped out 90% of all species, tardigrades made it through. Ice ages, global warming events, massive meteor impacts, they've survived them all. Scientists have calculated what it would take to actually kill every tardigrade on Earth. The numbers are staggering. You'd need to boil away all the oceans, strip away the atmosphere, and bombard the planet with enough radiation to sterilize the surface down to several miles deep. Even then, some tardigrades in deep caves or underground water sources might survive. The only events that could potentially wipe out all tardigrades would be something like the sun expanding into a red giant and literally vaporizing the Earth, or a gamma ray burst from a nearby star that's so powerful it strips away our atmosphere and cooks the entire planet. But even then, if any tardigrades happened to be on space debris or had somehow made it to another planet, they could potentially survive and recolonize once conditions improved. What's truly remarkable is how this tiny creature has essentially solved the problem of extinction. While every other animal on Earth lives with the constant threat of environmental changes wiping them out, tardigrades have evolved a way to simply wait out any disaster. They're like the ultimate insurance policy for life itself. No matter what happens to our planet, these microscopic survivors will probably be there to see what comes next. So there you have it, the tardigrade. nature's ultimate survivor, a microscopic animal that can withstand temperatures that would instantly kill everything else, survive in the vacuum of space, and literally pause its own life to wait out any disaster. These incredible creatures have redefined what we thought was possible for life on Earth. They've survived every extinction event, conquered every environment, and proven that sometimes the smallest animals are also the toughest. If you're fascinated by nature's most incredible survival stories, make sure to subscribe. We've got more amazing animals that will challenge everything you think you know about life on our planet.